Ximam the frequency. The king always wants the priest to hold the light while he sharpens the blade. But some light doesn't belong to the crown. I saw the alignment shifting before the press release was even rendered. Listen. Rome and D.C. standing at the edge of the line, a geopolitical fracture on the global spine. President Trump calling for the fire and the lead, asking the Vatican to bless the blood that'll be shed. But Leo the 14th, he looked at the map of the war and barred the entrance to the sanctuary door. Thursday in the Vatican, the statement was clear and dry, refusing the blessing for the Iran strike. Under the sky, woe to those who manipulate the sacred for the gain, naming the sinner, using God to justify the pain. A pope standing steady while the White House turns the heat, refusing to put the gospel in the military fleet. It's the architecture of the woe, the geometry of the stand, refusing to lease the altar to the master of the land. The sword wants the seal to make the killing feel right, but the stone doesn't move in the middle of the night. You can't draft the divine into the infantry's line, or use the bread of life to keep the empire fine. Yeah, the war is a load-bearing wall. I've been decoding this playback for 1,000 years stretch. How the Caesars always look for a scripture they can fetch to wrap the conquest in a robe of the holy white, and call the extraction a crusade for the light. Constantine at the bridge, Napoleon at the gate, trying to make the church a subsidiary of the state. But religion isn't a camouflage for the colonial theft, or a spiritual lubricant for the logic of the deaf. When you weaponize the faith, you hollow out the core, leaving nothing but a shell on the theater of the war. The Pope sees the structure, he sees the rot in the beam. He knows the holy war is just a tyrant's dream. My grandfather told me, "Shy, watch the man who quotes the verse while he's reaching for your pocket or the handle of the hearse." He said a prayer isn't a permit for the kill. The spirit isn't a resource you can extract at your will. The structure of the truth is either plumb or it's a lie. You can't build a heaven on a foundation that makes the children die. Power is a seasonal thing, a temporary lease. The word is the only thing that doesn't sign the peace with the architects of the fire. So the president tweets and the allies start to roar, while the vicar stays silent behind the bronze door. You can't buy a blessing with a campaign donation or a threat, not when the altar is already carrying in the historical debt. Manipulation of the spirit is a structural failure of the soul, a desperate move to maintain the total control. The woe isn't a gesture, it's a physical fact, naming the consequence of the spiritual contract being traded for the leverage of the temporary throne. The stone stays steady, the stone stays alone. Woe to those. The blueprint is ancient, the crown is a guest, the word is the architecture. I already knew. Ximam. Ximam.